It's time to go beyond infinity with Fin Lynessa Paladin. Now, this is Lynessa Paladin, but with a little bit of a twist, thanks to this new legendary, the Fins Beyond Time. This card, in combination with O Manager, if they're both in your starting hand, will actually allow you to have infinite damage in this deck, thus solving the one issue the deck technically had before. However, because it's such a RNG combo, it's one that you're probably only going to pull once every 100-ish games, but the deck can hold its own if you don't go for that combo. Now, for the one guide of the list, you are going to be looking for any of the draw power cards, such as Plateosaur or Armament. Then you're going to be looking for things like Moonstone Mauler or Rock Skipper. And finally, things like Metal Detector or Mixologist are great to keep too. Now, with all being said, let's look at some. Okay, DK. I'm assuming this will be some type of control DK. It could be something else, but that seems like the most rational thing it probably is going to end up being. Oh, that's kind of interesting if it's the deck that I'm thinking it is. There's the Amalgam, basically infinite damage with Floppy Hydra deck. I'm assuming this is what it is, which is at least something a little bit different, you know? Okay, there's Orbital Moon. Okay. I didn't actually think about that card being a way to easily give that rush without having to run a really bad Draenei. Kind of cool, actually. Makes the combo a little bit easier, too, for it to be told. Maybe we try something out with this loop. We've been doing a lot of, like, infinite loops this week. I know it wasn't meant to be like this, but it kind of has happened. Like, the first video on the channel this week would have been the Infinite Loop Shaman list. And I don't know if this is going to go up before or after the Ren Pharaoh list, but theoretically, that is technically an infinite loop because you are stalling out your opponent for X amount of turns. And while it's not infinite, it is long enough to win the game, right? If they can't play anything, it feels infinite to them. Okay, we're going to struggle a little bit on this game. But yeah, I don't know if that's going to come out before or after. I'm assuming I'll probably put that one out first just because I kind of like that list a little bit better than this one. And this one really relies on me getting the really cool footage. If I can't get the footage, then yeah, I don't know. Oh, also, I hope for the oh. Hmm. Can we do enough damage here to win the game in a single turn? Okay, consecration doesn't do what I need it to do. I like having the one consecration just in case for, like, if you need removal tools, you know? Okay, coin. Grab rock. That's 2 more mana. How close are we actually going to get to this? Wait a second. Are we actually going to manage to... I don't think we will be able to, right? It's 14 damage. Coin again. See what we grab. Can it go face? We just need 2 to hit face. Okay, never mind. And I guess hero power. That was a lot closer than I was expecting there. Okay, somehow we have to do 6 damage and hope, like... I'm trying to think of, like, how we go from the... The Lynessa being dragged out of our hand made our lives really, really easy with that dirty rat. Especially because we had all the damage, like, already in our hand, you know? Ooh, there goes Lynessa. I guess Fins would be a pretty nice top deck. Also depends on what we can... We're like 1 damage off, aren't... Oh, no, never mind. That Vampiric Blood actually just saved their life. Okay, let's see what we can grab. 6 damage would be really cool. We could also steal or take the mind control card, but I think this will be better in the long run. Just gotta be able to do enough damage. Alright. Give us something good. Mixologist. Draw a card into freeze a minion. Why not? Got the coin. We got in our prize vendor. There's Fins Beyond Time. I mean, making us draw 2, that's okay. Oh! Well, they only have 2, so, like, that's not going to be as big of a problem. It's going to be a little bit of a problem, just not a big problem. I'm going to try to maximize the damage that we can do this turn. The next turn, we'll pop everything off, or at least try to. The curator into... I guess that's just a combo, right? Because it guarantees the draw into the amalgam and it guarantees... oh, interesting. Music. Oh, that's a weird choice. I guess if you don't have Bob, then maybe it's not a weird choice. Okay, okay. Get as much damage in as humanly. Oh, actually, we need to make sure we use the coin. I don't have enough mana if I guess we can see what we draw off of this. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that, but it's okay. Okay, so we got Lynessa, which will be 2 hits. All we gotta see here, game. Please, praise be the game if Mixologist gives me 3 damage. 3 damage or AoE. It doesn't really matter which one. Either one works. Gotta race against this clock, I guess. That works, and that works. That's just perfect. Let's go. Okay, Paladin. Let's see what our opponent here has in store for us. It only took 30 games, but I think we finally got it. Okay, now if we can actually survive long enough for this to matter, then we have full combo here, which is great for me because I've been really... Look, the internet's been really horrendous to the point that I probably put it in the schedule where we were trying like earlier stream times to maybe like hopefully not run into the problem that I've been running into. And it also might help fix my sleep schedule a little bit if I do it earlier too. Yeah, it feels like every time when I normally stream till like midnight that night, it just gets throttled into the ground, which is annoying. And it's only been happening for like a month at this point. You guys are probably tired of hearing about it too. Sorry. Okay, so this is Aura Paladin. Now, we have to be a little bit careful and rush into getting the combo. I also don't want to burn a card is the other thing. And Lynessa is all I needed to see. I also thought about removing Platasaur, but I don't know what other draw power card I would use instead of Platasaur because I will say this. There's about 3 or 4 games in these 30 that I ended up using Platasaur, getting Lynessa instantly, and I was just like, well, I hope my opponent doesn't destroy our minion because I'm kind of screwed if they do. Okay. I think we get rid of the cubicle just so I don't have to deal with the cubicle giving them like additional minions. Oh, that hit that minion? Okay, I guess we just go face. And the next turn, we can slam down Lynessa. Lynessa into the, well, attack, and then Lynessa into coin, into O Manager, into coin, into Fin, into, and rinse and repeat until the end of the game. I can't believe we actually managed to pull this off. Oh, it feels so good that I managed to pull this one off. I've tested this deck actually over a few different days with other decks like in between. It feels nice when stuff like this works for us. Might be thinking, "Oh, I'll be fine. They can't possibly have all the damage, right? Why would you do it in that order? You just lost a lot of damage." Meanwhile, I'm actually amazed we didn't get the rope here. Oh, speaking of rope, I guess technically this isn't infinite damage. It's as much damage as you have space for fins. And that would be game. Okay, warrior. I'm hoping this isn't control, because unless we get the infinite combo, I am a little bit curious actually how we would do the control. I guess we could have like draw into our combo a little bit quicker than, I don't know, maybe that would work. Okay, just passing it back. There's the coin. Okay, so it's Dragon Warrior. At least this version of Dragon Warrior. I think, oh, okay, by the time this video goes up, it'll already be the beginning of the month. I think I might actually try to make the Food Fight Warrior list get me to Legend. No promises, but it would be kind of cool to use that deck because like, I think that has a lot of potential in most of the matchups that are like popular right now. We shall see, though. I try to, this is just a little bit of insider knowledge. I try to end up doing something a little bit different every month. I try to make it or take a different or deck to Legend each month instead of just playing the same one. And that's why it takes me a little bit longer than it probably should. I could just like use the same deck, whatever like is really, really strong, you know. Because usually there's at least 1 or 2 decks that don't hit in a nerf within like a month or two, you know? So, I don't know. We'll see. Okay. I'm just going to AoE. We could have kept that for later, but I think just getting a little bit of face damage in is probably going to be helpful here. And then we can draw into, I was hoping for the other O Manager, but that's okay. Fins Beyond Time is kind of funny. Okay. Amulet.
Looks like we've got a fight for the ages.
That's fine. Actually, you know what's the funny thing? Amulet might be what gets us game. Sure, it isn't 12 damage, which we would have preferred to see, but like, it's still pretty good. Because we can mind control the 5/6. We can slam down Lynessa. I'm trying to do this math in my head. I might be doing the math wrong. Lynessa get the coin. Slam in O Manager. Okay, how close are we? Let's see what we can get. The other O Manager. Okay, okay, okay. Wait a second. Oh, we're off. Wait, no, we aren't. Let's go. Tide pool. Come on. Gotta get this in quick. Cover exactly that. Take that 3/3 and hit their face. Alright, now we're through the game, so let's discuss my Final Fantasy deck. So I played 30 games with that deck, ended up with a 46% win rate, which was partially my fault. I mainly focused on trying to get the Fins Beyond Time combo online in most of the later on games, which is why I ended up playing 30 instead of my normal 20. But before then, I had around a 55-ish% win rate, which was actually pretty good. Overall, this deck can overwhelm a lot of people really, really quickly, just as long as you draw into Lynessa, which is the main hurdle of this list. If you don't see her, then you are going to have a terrible time. But if you see her early enough, you should be able to win most matchups, though Control Warrior can be a little bit sketchy without the infinite damage combo. If you've been looking for a deck to use Fins Beyond Time in, this is probably one of the better decks you can try him in. And if you want to see if you can actually get the infinite combo, then this one is a lot of fun. Before we end the video, special thanks to our channel members of Daniel Nascimento and Ruben. If you want to help out the channel a little bit more, you can always join the memberships like they did for one of the 3 possible tiers. But if you can't afford to do that, you can always leave a like, comment, subscribe if you already haven't, or if you have, turn on the notification button. But until next time, bye-bye.